I asked for Christmas comic book suggestions, and this was one of them, with Super Gator comedy The Amazing Spider-Man issue 314 from 1989. Now for context, the story takes place after a stalker named Jonathan Caesar kidnapped Mary Jane Watson, who was also their neighbor. But since he was charged for kidnapping, he wants revenge by getting Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson kicked out of their home. They get the news broken to them when they're on the streets in the snow walking around New York City with Aunt May, when a sketchy-looking lawyer tracks them down to tell them the news, with Peter lashing out over him insulting Mary Jane. With Mary telling him to calm down, the lawyer just walks away when he has a chance. Now it's almost Christmas time, and Peter sends May to go home for the time being until he comes down for Christmas himself. However, Peter is more worried about other things than Christmas, and that is the fact that he doesn't have a place to live anymore, nor does Mary Jane Watson. Meaning they're on the streets practically. And due to the fact that Peter isn't exactly paid much, he doesn't really have any place to go. Later that night, Peter and Mary are out for a walk and they have a heart-to-heart with how Peter's afraid of now living with new people, with having to explain why he's constantly coming and going due to not being able to say that he's Spider-Man. But the moment gets interrupted by a mugging nearby. Spider-Man gets dressed quickly in his costume to stop the mugging and give the purse back to the old lady, who gives him some Christmas cookies as a thank you, explaining if it wasn't for him, her Christmas would have been hard since her purse had all of her money in it. We see other instances of Spider-Man helping people. We also see that he's wondering if he can ask any of his friends if they can crash with them due to the fact that him and Mary don't have a place to go. But he can't figure it out. Jonah's a hard no, Robbie's dealing with enough as it is, with his current storyline that's going on at the moment, and Joy also brings a lot of tension considering their past. And because Mary Jane doesn't seem exactly like Joy, which I can't exactly blame her considering some things that Joy has said in this very comic. Spider-Man also isn't the only one helping people, Peter as Peter Parker himself. He talks with Aunt May at Uncle Ben's grave to give her a shoulder to cry on, with her still missing the love of her life. He can see that she needs someone, but she's extremely lonely, and that she has nobody except for Peter, her cousin, and Mary. And the comic ends with them all having Christmas together at their house. The old house. Now Peter and MJ living there in Peter's old room. With Peter and MJ needing a place to live, and May needing someone to talk to. I thought this comic was very heartwarming, especially if you're here for the Aunt May and Peter Parker dynamic. With one another seeing each other's blood, even if you didn't know, May's actually his aunt through marriage, so they're not even related. I think it also shows how family are the people you choose, with May, MJ, Peter, etc. However, for a Christmas story, it wasn't really that Christmassy, as I think any of this could have happened at a time that wasn't Christmas. It was really just a story that I thought just occurred around Christmas, not the actual Christmas story itself. But for a story in itself, I thought it was great. I thought it was very heartwarming, and for a Christmas story, it wasn't bad, just it was kind of forced into the actual story itself, as it didn't really come across naturally, but more or less as a last-minute change to a story that was already written. But regardless, I had fun, and I really like this story, even if it's not exactly as Christmassy as I expected it to be. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.